This one's for you, Ian Plimmer. Climate and Coal, episode 1. A story for grown-up children. Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin. Climate was a beautiful child, sunny, bright and breezy, always dancing, smiling and friendly. She had her moody moments, but they passed quickly like clouds across the sun, and even if she upset people occasionally, she never meant to hurt anyone. Climate was the kind of person who was kind. She liked to try and look after all of her friends. Everyone agreed that without Climate, the world would be a really rotten, miserable place. She had a friend called Cole, who was a lot of fun, even though he was a very messy boy. Cole had a fiery nature and was burning with energy, constantly running around and bumping into things. He was always bragging and telling stories in which he was the hero. He did this so many times that a lot of the other children ended up believing his stories. Indeed, the crazier and sillier his stories became, the more people seemed to think they were true. Climate and Cole used to be friends. Every day after school, Cole and Climate used to join the other children at play. But Cole was always a bit rough, and he used to tease and pinch Climate. As Cole grew older and stronger, he became more and more argumentative and, it has to be said, something of a bully. This made Climate very sad. One day in school, they were learning arithmetic. 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 1 is 3, 3 and 2 is 5. No, it isn't, muttered Cole from the back of the class. Of course it is, Cole, said teacher. You can't make numbers add up just the way you want them to. Oh, yes I can, said Cole. My numbers can mean exactly what I want them to mean. He said this so angrily that the other children were scared of him. They felt it might be safer to believe in Cole's numbers rather than risk making him cross again. Day after day Cole would argue, and lovely, patient teacher kept correcting silly Cole's ideas about numbers. Then one day Cole stood up from his desk, ran up to the teacher and hit her. He went into a rage. He kicked her and scratched her and called her stupid. All the children were frightened, and Climate didn't know what to do. Cole had become big and strong, and Climate was feeling very weak and sickly. She had a bad cough, and the doctor said she should be careful. He told her not to run around with people like Cole, but what else could Climate do? He had always been her friend, and now she was worried about him. Cole had a friend called Nuke. They weren't very good friends, not the way you and I would be friends, but they played together a lot, and they thought it was fun to tease Climate. Nuke really liked Cole's numbers, and he never stopped telling all the other children how stupid teacher was. Cole liked that a lot. He never seemed to notice that Nuke said nasty things about him behind his back. Even though Nuke teased her, Climate tried to like him because Nuke was always saying nice things to her. There was something creepy about him, though. Climate couldn't put her finger on it, but she once overheard teacher saying that Nuke had a poisonous personality. Climate knew that a poison could taste very nice, but still make you very sick, and she thought this was exactly like Nuke, because although he was always saying nice things, she felt worse and worse the more she saw him. Cole and Nuke played together more and more. They would leave all the other children out of their games, and they were horrible and mean to poor Climate, who didn't know what to do. Cole had never stopped annoying teacher, but now he started being very nasty to Climate, and no one would stop him. Every day, on the way to school, in the playground, on the way home, and even after Climate was home with her parents, Cole would find ways to annoy her. He started by teasing and pinching, but as he got stronger, he started hitting her. Then he started scratching her and pulling her hair so hard it came out. Everyone said it was just a phase he was going through. Teacher thought it was a big problem, and was worried about the way Cole was growing up, but nobody listened to her anymore in case Cole started hitting them too. With Newt goading him along, Cole got cockier and cockier. With nobody to stop him, he carried on attacking Climate. Soon there wasn't a moment in the day when Climate could feel relaxed. She never felt safe. Some of her old friends would call out across the playground, "Hey, Climate! We think you're wonderful! We're on your side!" But they ran away every time Cole started punching her, and they would gather around Newt and listen to his stories about how much he loved and respected Climate, and how Cole was bound to run out of energy soon. "Don't worry," he said, "Climate will be okay, because I'll go over there in a minute and take care of our friend Cole." And everyone believed him. So Climate suffered more and more. She tried to cry out, but her voice was weak, and her words were lost in fits of coughing. Cole started beating her up in the middle of the playground, in the middle of the day, but nobody came to help her. He scratched and kicked and hit her and hit her and hit her, but nobody would dare help Climate. All her friends got used to her being miserable. "It's her own fault," they said. "If she didn't like it, she shouldn't have made friends with Cole in the first place." After a little while, Climate was in a terrible state. No more did her friendly smiles greet the morning. No longer did her sunshine and breezy dances fill the day. She became a little crazy. A blanket of dense, dark cloud covered the playground, making it hard to breathe. Teacher stopped trying to add up properly, and Newt even started to give some of Teacher's lessons. Climate became very ill. The doctor said she was dying. But Cole said that was rubbish. The doctor even dared to say that it was Cole's fault, but Cole told everyone the doctor was in love with Climate, and you just couldn't trust him. By the time Climate died, she looked terrible. She was like a twisted, horrific skeleton. You couldn't recognize her anymore. When she tried to smile, you could feel nothing but her pain. When she was laid to rest, there was nobody at her funeral, because Newt had quietly poisoned them all. Except Cole, of course, who was very sad about not having Climate to tease and beat up anymore. As Climate was laid to rest, Cole cried out, "It wasn't me! I didn't do it!" What a nasty boy